next contestant is our international contestant. Please welcome Alex!
Hi everyone, I'm Alex. I'm here from Chicago. Thank you for having me. What I want for Christmas is for the Norwegian government to let me stay. Thank you. All my life, I've just wanted to stay dry when I wake up in the morning. I wet the bed until I was 14 years old. Some people wear diapers until they're like 3. I wore them until I was 10. My mom used to be like, Alex, it's not a diaper, it's a pull-up. I'm like, you're ruining my life. I remember having the same dream like every night. I'm doing something normal, and then all of a sudden, I'm in a freezing cold river. It's my own piss. And I've been marinating in it like a steak for about 30 minutes. So I crawl into my parents' bedroom, but they have like this policy where they don't want me like sneaking in like a wet, slimy bitch next to mommy and daddy. So I sleep at the foot of their bed on the wooden floor like a wet dog. Woof. And then I was in 4th grade, and when you're a 4th grade girl, sleepovers are like a crucial part of making friends. You know, like eating Skittles and playing truth or dare and hiding in your sleeping bag while you discreetly put on your diaper. I remember my friends being like, what are you doing? And me being like, nothing. Why? We could not figure out why this was happening to me. When I was 12, I went to see a male urologist. He was a doctor of the urinary tract. That was the first man who ever touched my vagina. I was 12, I'm laying on my back, my legs are just like up in those stirrups, and just grown my first like 3 pubes. And this dude is just going at it like it's a calculator. It was not great. The urologist recommended this like pee-activated radar alarm thing to wear in my underwear at night. Imagine like a tiny MP3 player, but it's in your pussy. And if it gets wet at night, it's just like ree, 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 ree. So it's one failure after another. And then a little bit further down the line, a second doctor gave me some magic pills. I could take one before going to bed, and it would just like dry out my entire body, like I could not produce liquids. So I wouldn't wet the bed, and yeah, it was like questionably government approved. So I tried to only take those on special occasions, like sleepovers or Christmas Eve, or Hanukkah. I'm half Jewish. I don't know why I said that quietly. I mean, it's been a while since the war. Anyway, sleepovers were very hard. These pills made my life hell. And every day I would just wish, could I just trade this disease or this like curse for literally anything? And then I turned 14 and I got my wish. I started high school. I stopped wetting the bed. I stopped taking those pills. But then something else started happening. I started getting these like mood swings, you know, they were intense, I was angry all the time. I recently reread my live journal from this time period, and I was very much a person who's like, you know, wishing death upon every member of my family because I didn't get an iPod for Christmas. My profile picture, avatar thing, was a tree in the rain. But I went past the point of normal teenage emo-ness. It was a bit more extreme. I started having panic attacks. I started compulsively shoplifting. And not cool things like pants, weird things like frozen pizzas. I was acting irrationally all the time. I remember one time I got so mad at my dog that I decided, I'm gonna cut myself. I'm gonna do it. And then I tried to do it, but it really hurt. So I didn't do it. I just made like a tiny little dot. And then I walked around at school the next day like, yeah, it was a rough night. My friends are like, we don't see anything. My dry days were short-lived. Because during the night, I would sweat. Those bad dreams I was having, they morphed into these night terrors. I used to think my mom was annoying when she called my diaper the wrong name. Now she was trying to murder me with garden tools. You know? Rude. And then college came along. And college was really hard because college is just like one giant sleepover in the States, right? And you don't have mommy and daddy, and you don't have anything. You don't have a tiny little device you can shove up in your labia, fucking wake you up in the middle of the night if something's wrong. Man, what I wouldn't give to be sailing down that frozen piss river one more time, sipping some white wine, wearing my diaper. There was no going back for me. And it was one night that I actually wet the bed again, freshman year, spring quarter. I woke up and I realized it wasn't pee at all. It was sweat. I had sweat so much that I soaked my entire bed. And well, I did what I was raised to do, and I crawled to the bathroom floor of the dorm, laid my wet, naked ass down on that dirty, cold floor. It was like coming home. And at 5 a.m. that night, I finally thought to myself, I don't know if this is a curse, or if I wished it upon myself, but I fucking need my mommy and daddy. Like right now. And I called home. And then, well, what's even more awkward than seeing a creepy male urologist when you're 12 is seeing a psychiatrist when you're 19. But I found out that everything that was happening to me had a name, and that was bipolar disorder. Which I thought before was just a thing that's like, sometimes you're really happy and sometimes you're really sad, but I learned meant a lot more. And for the second time in my life, I was given some magic pills. And I did not trust them. And my psychiatrist was like 85 years old, nearly dead, and the first Norwegian person I ever met in my life. Her name was Valborg, which to me sounded like cyborg. But I decided to give the pills a chance. And here I am, 5 years later. I'm still taking them twice a day. And I'm fine. And I finally accept that it's a pull-up, not a diaper. And it's a mental illness, not a curse. And now at the age of 24, I finally wake up dry. Thank you.